Damn, dude, he did it again. A lot of people love you, but there's also people who criticize you, including from the media. Look, regarding what you said about criticism and how I deal with it, if I had to summarize in one sentence, a fly sits on dirt and spreads the dirt around, but a bee lands on flowers, collects nectar, and then shares that sweetness everywhere. Yet if something wrong occurs, the bee can sting so powerfully that you'd have to hide your face for 3 days straight. That's the power journalism should have. He did it again. You got to see this. Not only am I here to pump up the great PM Modi of India, one of the great leaders of the world, who is, I see no problem carrying the torch into different countries and letting them know that this is the new standard that India is raising. We would like you to join us. And yes, we are joining you, India. We are joining you. But also, Lex Fridman, the interviewer, the guy who interviewed him here, it was one of the most honest and genuine interviews and refreshing interviews that I've seen in so long. And so we see this all the time. So many of us are guilty of clicking that headline only to hear that podcaster or media outlet concentrate on a political or media figure's one-liner that stirs contention. For example, the Elon Musk salute, right? Instead of focusing on the message, here's a 1-second clip, freeze-framed it, and moved it forward with an agenda to paint someone as a Nazi, right? Someone who had just spoke for a half an hour about peace, freedom, equality for all mankind. But instead, you take the story and make it into a fairy tale of emotional gaslighting, and was, seriously, a fly journalism picking up a piece of crap, spreading it like a virus. Much of this hype is our fault. It falls on us. Those who fall into the notion that a 20-second TikTok clip will be the deciding factor for my views on someone for the next 10 years of my life. People are craving, first of all, the simplicity of it and the entertainment when the mind releases that shot of dopamine that sets off a 2-second high. But if we would just look a little deeper into that 20-second clip and follow the breadcrumb articles and or listen to the whole thing ourselves to make an informed decision and have an educated response that overshadows the one-night stand, here today, gone tomorrow, flossy, nazi, and hillipilification megabit of regurgitated parroting of a clip and cut editing from agenda-based formats, we could find a long-lasting relationship within ourselves that's more studied and equipped with the truth and the full story, being able to deliver more knowledge to those who have fell prey to these tactics I just mentioned. It's time consuming to check every story that looks like it could go viral, but it's worth it. Because with more knowledge and accuracy, we find ourselves having more open dialogue with each other, and inside we feel better and stronger as individuals. But that's just my simple opinion, and we all have one, and I would love to hear what you think about this. So please let me see your comments down below. And also, if you would, do us a favor, like and subscribe and click that notification button so when we get information out, you can get information in. We love you guys, and we are so blessed to have you here today with us. And grab a drink while you're at it, and we'll watch it together. A lot of people love you, and I've got to hear from a lot of them. But there's also people who criticize you, including from the media. And folks from the media have criticized you over this 2002 garage riot. What's your relationship like with criticism? How do you deal with critics? How do you deal with criticism coming from the media or in your own inner circle or just in your own life? Look, regarding what you said about criticism and how I deal with it, if I had to summarize in one sentence, I welcome it. I have a strong belief that criticism is the soul of democracy. If democracy truly runs in your veins, you must embrace it. In our scriptures, it said, always keep your critics close. Critics could be your nearest companions because through genuine criticism, you can improve quickly and work dramatically with better insights. In fact, I believe we should have more criticism, and it should be sharp and well-informed. But my real complaint is that nowadays, what we see isn't real criticism. Genuine criticism requires thorough study, in-depth research, and careful analysis. It demands finding the truth from falsehoods. Today, people look for shortcuts, avoid proper research, a skin-deep analysis. Instead of identifying genuine weaknesses, they jump straight to accusations. There's a big difference between allegations and criticism. The references you're giving, they are allegations, not criticism. For a strong democracy, genuine criticism is necessary. Allegations benefit no one. They just cause unnecessary conflicts. That's why I always welcome criticism openly. And whenever false accusations arise, I calmly continue serving my country with complete dedication. Yeah, the thing you speak of is very important to me because I admire great journalism, and unfortunately in modern day, a lot of journalists seek clickbait headlines, make accusations because they operate under incentive, because they want the headline, the cheap shot. I think there's room and desire and hunger for great journalists, and that requires deep understanding, and it saddens me how often one of the reasons, I don't think I'm very good at this, but one of the reasons I really wanted to talk to you is because I don't see enough high effort, deep dive research. I don't know how many books I've read. I've read a lot in preparing just to experience, just to try to understand. It requires a lot of preparation, a lot of work, and I would love to see great journalists do that more. And from that place, you can criticize from that place. How does this feel to you? How does what he's saying feel to you? Let me know in the comments below. Please like and subscribe, and I'm blessed to have you watching this with us. But isn't he really, to me, he's hitting a nerve. He's letting me know that I'm not the only one who feels this way. You're not the only one who feels this way. The whole world is starting to feel like this with the media. It's just starting to get a little bit outrageous, don't you think? This is my personal opinion. Let me know what you think down below, and we'll continue watching this. You can really investigate the complexity of a situation of people in power, their strengths, their flaws, and mistakes that they made. But that requires great preparation. So this, I wish, was more of that, of great journalism. Yes, clear, well-directed, and specific criticism genuinely helps in the process of effective policy making. It leads to clear-cut policy vision. I specifically pay close attention to such constructive criticism. In fact, I actively welcome it. Regarding your point about journalistic headlines, if someone's attracted by catchy headlines or plays with words, I honestly don't mind that much. But when there's a deliberate agenda behind the actions, and the truth is deliberately ignored, that can cause damage that lasts for decades. If someone focuses on pleasing their readers or viewers with attractive headlines, maybe we can compromise a little. But if there's a hidden motive, or if things are intentionally twisted to serve an agenda, that's a serious issue worth worrying about. And in that, the truth suffers, I think. I remember once in London, I was invited to give a speech at an event organized by Gujarati newspaper there. So during my speech, I casually said, since it was an event attended by journalists, what kind of journalism should we have? Should it be like a fly or a bee? I explained a fly sits on dirt and spreads the dirt around, but a bee lands on flowers, collects nectar, and then shares that sweetness everywhere. Yet if something wrong occurs, the bee can sting so powerfully that you'd have to hide your face for 3 days straight. However, some people selectively picked up just half of my analogy and created a huge controversy out of it. Honestly, was I being negative about anyone? Not at all. I was simply highlighting the incredible strength of a bee, that even its small sting can leave such an impact that can make someone hide their face for days. You can't show your face. That's the power journalism should have. But unfortunately, some people prefer the fly approach instead. I now have a new life goal of becoming a bee.